Welcome everyone to the 100th episode of What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today joining me for this epic centennial is my fellow Xfinity editors, Maddie and Nicole. Hello.
Hey.
Woo! Yay for 100.
100. One short of all the Dalmatians. Can you believe it's been 100 episodes?
I can't.
Well, it feels like we've been here for all 100. Even though we think it's more like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
for us.
Well put.
Well, since you are new to the show, let me tell you, episode 1 of What to Watch Live aired the week of March 29th, 2021. That week in entertainment, Godzilla vs. Kong became the biggest hit of the pandemic. Grey's Anatomy revived 2 characters that had been dead for years. The Rock revealed the not-quite final release date for Black Adam. A rare sealed copy of Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. Game sold for $660,000. The St. James Theater in New York City became the first Broadway theater to reopen amid the pandemic. Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson reunited on the new Law & Order Organized Crime. Lil Nas X released his knockoff Nikes infused with a real drop of human blood. Regé-Jean Page made the excellent career decision to bail on the hit Netflix series Bridgerton after only 1 season. Chadwick Boseman won a posthumous SAG award for his performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And that massive container ship was still stuck in the Suez Canal, which wasn't technically entertainment, but the memes were very entertaining. And that is what was happening the first episode of What to Watch Live.
Wow.
Wait, was that within that week?
It all happened that week. Literally
That's crazy.
that week. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a great time capsule. The
Yeah,
Suez Canal feels like it was like 5 years ago.
It really does.
So long
Yeah.
ago. It was a big week for movies and for boats. So if you've been with us from the beginning, we thank you for watching. If you're joining us for the first time on Xfinity platforms or maybe on the What to Watch channel and Zumo Play, we hope you'll come back in the weeks, months, or years ahead. Who knows what the future has in store. So let's get to it. On today's show, we celebrate the 100th episode of What to Watch Live with a look at the movies that should have scored a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nicole will tell us about the entertainment you can enjoy for free this week with MGM+. We'll each choose the TV show or movie premiere we're most excited about right now, and Maddie will tell us how you can get the movie Trolls on us with Xfinity Rewards. So let's get things started with a segment that is 100% fresh. It's What to Watch This Week. For better or worse, the Rotten Tomatoes Tomato Meter, which aggregates movie reviews into a single percentage-based score, has become the default measuring stick for the movie industry. While a buzzworthy movie can potentially tank at the box office if it earns a rotten aggregated score below 60%, a film can become legendary if it achieves the nearly impossible feat of earning a unanimously positive 100% fresh rating from critics. In fact, of all the movies in the Rotten Tomatoes database with at least 40 reviews, only 105 movies have ever earned a 100% fresh rating. Those movies, as you can see here, include classics like Charlie Chaplin's The Kid, Walt Disney's Pinocchio, Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai, and Gene Kelly's Singing in the Rain. There are also dozens of perfectly scored movies you've probably never even heard of, and even more films that tragically just missed that 100% milestone. So today, in honor of our 100th episode of What to Watch Live, we've decided to honor the movies that may have scored 99 on Rotten Tomatoes, but will ever hold a 100 in our hearts. And we'll start with Nicole. Nicole, which 99% fresh movie do you think deserves a perfect 100?
All right. I am going with 8th Grade. It's a 2018 comedy drama starring Elsie Fisher, directed by Bo Burnham. It starts off with this fun perspective of an average 8th grade girl and how awkward it could be. Then it transforms into this dramatic take on all the grief that teenagehood brings. body shaming, being excluded from social events, the pressures and agony of having to grow up overnight. And I think Elsie really captures all of these emotions. I mean, it's definitely something I recommend to people all of the time. So I think it's 100% worthy of 100%. And like, there's so many iconic lines. Like, Maddie, I'm gonna toss it to you with Gucci.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. It's so cringe.
Oh no, wait, she does
so
it. My bad. She does that. Yeah.
Yeah, like this, right?
Yeah.
It's so cringe, but it's so true. That movie is like does perfectly capture what it's like to be like an awkward middle schooler. So
Yes.
I agree with this. This is one of the first movies I watched in my big like A24 rewatch that I did before I started working here. So it was a very nice intro into all the A24 movies that I love so much.
I love the little chicken nugget kid in this who loves all the dipping sauces, and they go on the date and he has all the dipping sauces. I believe his name is Jake Ryan, is that actor? He was recently in Asteroid City as well. You pop up.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He pops up in a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, oh, there's that chicken nugget kid.
Is it Ryan? Like from 16 Candles?
I really do think his name's Jake Ryan.
Yeah.
Someone fact check me on that, but he's fantastic, and Elsie's great as well. And she just recently was in something too that totally escapes me.
The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is a show I can't believe I'm announcing that I really kind of enjoyed.
You didn't even flinch. You just
I knew. Yeah.
But she also did a couple episodes of Barry. Like, I think
that's what it was. Yeah. She plays the actress's like protege or something like that. Yeah,
she was great in that too.
Yeah, this is an excellent movie. That's a great pick, Nicole. Maddie, what is the 99 that should have been 100?
Okay, so I apologize. I'm gonna rant a little bit here. So if I had the power to bestow one more fresh tomato point to any movie, it would be without a doubt Paddington 2. So David and Nicole, you two know me, and you know that I'm not really into children's content, right? Like, it has to just blow me away to land for me. Paddington 2 does just that. I do believe it's a perfect movie. I'm not sure how much of like the lore, the film bro lore you're aware of, but it's very much a topic in film Twitter and film talk where people call the Paddington franchise better than a lot of the classic movies. I didn't say it, but a lot of people make the joke that Paddington 1 and 2 is a better double feature than The Godfather 1 and 2. And it's kind of a joke, but it's kind of not, I think, in my opinion. I don't know. That's why I originally chose to watch Paddington, because I wanted to know if these bold statements had any legitimacy, and they so do. So Nicole, have you ever seen this? I'm not tossing, but have you watched Paddington?
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces. I don't think I gave it the attention it deserves. I'll say that.
Okay, what about you, David?
I've seen the first one. I have not seen the second one, but I love it. And Paddington reminds me of my dog's face. So I just have such his little tiny bear face I love.
Yeah. So just to recap, Paddington 1 is about a young Peruvian bear who travels to London in search of a home. He meets the Brown family who take him in, but he also attracts the attention of a taxidermist played by Nicole Kidman. Come on. Who wants to stuff him and add him to her collection. In the second movie, which is somehow even more heartwarming and adorable than the first, he's settled in with the Brown family. He's bringing marmalade sandwiches to everyone in town, and he's doing odd jobs when he witnesses a book being stolen from an antique shop. He's then framed for the crime and heads to prison. He's incarcerated in this movie. I'm not kidding. And I'll leave out the rest of the plot details because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll confidently say that Paddington 2 is a better prison movie than The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, no, Maddie. Oh, no.
I'm telling you, I love Shawshank. Paddington 2 is a better movie. But that's my soapbox plea for Paddington 2. To get 100%, I want to just throw this out for Nicole in case I haven't convinced her enough. There is a hilarious moment in the semi-recent Nick Cage film, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where Nick Cage asks Pedro Pascal, who is Nicole's guy, what his three favorite movies are, and then there's like this dramatic pause before he announces his final film, and he admits that it's Paddington 2, and Nick Cage is like furious about this answer. He's confused, like you two are acting right now. And later on in the movie, Nick Cage begrudgingly watches it with Pedro Pascal, and you see them both hysterically crying watching Paddington 2 together. So if your guy, your boy thing, I know it's just a character, but I'm sure he's the type of guy that would love this movie as well.
Yeah, you got me there. You really got me there. So is that the reason why you watched Paddington 2, or had you already seen it?
I had seen it already, but the joke absolutely killed for me when I heard it in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which I liked, but the Paddington 2 reference was my favorite part.
It's a good plug-in for another film. I like it.
I'm loving this crustless number 2 sandwich that Paddington's holding. I just keep thinking about how delicious that looks.
Yeah, and marmalade is like, have you guys had marmalade before?
I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting, but it's very cute when he does it. So maybe I'd give Paddington give the marmalade sandwich another try.
I also love Hugh Bonneville, and I know he's in these. So, and is Ben Whishaw? He's the voice of Paddington.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
All right, you guys know what you're talking about. I did not
things about Paddington.
Google the voice actor.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I met Hugh Bonneville at the Downton Abbey premiere. Super nice guy. Me and Elizabeth, we called him Bernie from Notting Hill. Do you remember that small party? Yeah.
No.
He didn't realize Julia Roberts was a celebrity. He just kind of like the goof of the movie. Anyway.
Never seen it.
I also once did a phone interview with Hugh Bonneville, and he was the nicest man on earth.
Super nice.
Like, I want him to be my dad. Thank you, Maddie. My pick now. One of my absolute favorite documentaries of all time is the 2011 Japanese film entitled Jiro Dreams of Sushi, which follows then 85-year-old sushi chef Jiro Ono, who runs a 10-seat sushi restaurant in a Tokyo subway station. Jiro is widely considered one of the greatest sushi chefs of all time, and his restaurant, which serves a 20-course tasting menu for around $270 American, is the first sushi restaurant in the world to receive 3 Michelin stars. But what I really love about this documentary is the story it tells about Jiro and his sons. The youngest leaves Jiro's restaurant to start his own establishment, which has gone on to earn Michelin stars of its own. And then there's the eldest son, who was already in his 50s when the documentary was made, but he was still working under his father, waiting for the day he can finally take over the family business and ascend to the sushi throne. And as someone who is absolutely obsessed with sushi, I was so enthralled by the insight into how the various fish is selected, how Jiro organizes his courses, how he organizes where the people sit at the counter, how meticulous he is in developing his flavor profiles, and how demanding he is on his apprentices. In fact, one apprentice spent 3 months cooking the same egg dish before it met Jiro's standards. He made the same, if you ever had sushi, it's just got that little egg, the yellow egg pillow on there. He had to do that 200 times before Jiro was like, you nailed it. Right. And it's common for these apprentices to spend months on end doing the same task over and over, whether it's massaging octopus tentacles for an hour every day or crisping seaweed over an open flame. And these employees will sometimes spend 10 years as apprentices before being elevated to the artisan level, which is the next level up. Today, Jiro is 97 years old and still running the restaurant, and his son, who is now in his 60s, is still waiting to take over. And the movie talks a lot about whether he should just go and do his own thing or take over for his dad. And he's like encouraging his dad, like, you got to retire eventually. And Jiro's just like, nah, I'm good here making the sushi. Jiro Dreams of Sushi received 95 total reviews when it was released, and only one of them was negative. A review by the New York Times where a writer criticized the film for spending too much time declaring Jiro's excellence. This film absolutely deserves a 100% fresh rating.
So, quick question. Didn't this win an Oscar? I know it was nominated at least.
I believe it did win for Best Documentary. the year that it was released.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like so out of nowhere, who's going to watch a sushi documentary? But I'm glad that you mentioned it. Definitely.
It's very good, Maddie.
I have two things for you
Yeah.
because you almost lost me at Subway sushi. I have a person I used to work with a long time ago, was a little older, used to always come up from Grand Central Station with her sushi from the train, and it would gross me out so much. But based on all the additional facts you gave, it sounds pretty darn good. When watching this documentary, do you suggest we eat sushi, or is just any crappy sushi we're gonna get from around here not gonna hold up to the sushi we're seeing on screen, so we should just not be participating in sushi eating?
So it's interesting because I've never gone to one of these types of sushi places. I think they call it, like, I'm gonna butcher what it's called, but like omakase or omakase, OMAKASE, where it is like 20 courses of a single piece of sushi, and so you get 20 of those. And I'm always like, there's no way that's gonna fill me up, and apparently it does. But that's what he does. He like creates single pieces of sushi, places it in front of you, and then they say in the movie, he just sits there and he just watches you. He just stares at you as you eat it. But he puts such care into every one of these little bits, and he really like takes pleasure in watching people enjoy it, even though he like looks exactly how he looks in the center of this poster, emotionless the entire time. All that to say, I think any old sushi will do, because I can't even comprehend how these single bits of sushi taste as good as they say they do.
Okay, but do we need, if we all get together and have some sushi, maybe me and Nicole can eat the sushi, and then you can just stare at us the whole time?
Yeah, you need the full experience.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Deal. You'll get the full Jiro experience.
Great.
Literally, this dude is so good. These guys like were massaging tentacles because you have to tenderize the octopus, and he like comes in and like feels it and knows that the dude has not done the full hour. Like, that's how good he is. He's like, no, this tentacle, you only massaged it for half an hour, not an hour.
Oh my god.
Wild.
That is wild.
Intense. Yeah.
Highly recommend this for anyone. And you can check out all the movies we talked about: Paddington 2, or 8th Grade. All very good movies, as well as all the 100% films we just talked about. You can do that just by saying what to watch into your voice remote. And that's it. We'll be there. Next up, it's a movie lover's paradise in the latest edition of Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program continues with a free preview of MGM Plus. And here to tell us more about all the TV shows and movies you can enjoy for free through October 22nd is our very own Xfinity Movies editor, Nicole. Nicole, take it away.
Thank you, David. All right, so MGM Plus is free October 16th to the 22nd. You've got to take advantage of this one. I mean, there's so much there. There's all these original shows like Godfather Harlem, From, Fast and Club, if you need just something new to binge. And if that isn't enough, check out their movie catalog with hits like Babylon, Creed 3, and The Passengers. Now, I personally have caught up on most of these movies, so I'm already aiming to start a new show, like From. It's October, it's officially spooky month, so I feel like it's fitting. Maddie, I know you've also seen most of these films as a fellow movie editor. Any other titles you might be interested in?
Well, I would watch Babylon again because I am a part of the Babylon hive. I don't know if you're familiar with this term. We are a hive because people either appreciate this movie for the masterpiece that it was. Yeah. It's also 3 hours or something. Or you dislike it because you have no taste. So I will be rewatching Babylon for sure. And David, if you haven't seen it, I hope you watch. But also, if you don't like it, just keep your mouth shut.
I haven't. And that was the one movie on the list that I would watch because I was curious about it when it came out. I'm obsessed with how weird Tobey Maguire looks in all of the previews. And of course, Margot Robbie's awesome. So very curious. And this will be one that I will watch. And God, I hope I like it. So I don't have to hear about it.
I'm going to say it's better than La La Land. It's Giselle's best movie. I'm not messing around here. Margot Robbie should have been nominated for an Oscar. See, I'm getting so impassioned with these Paddington 2 and Babylon. I'm a member of all these clubs, these self-declared clubs, and Babylon Hive. While it is a real thing, at least I see online it is. I am a member, and Nicole is too. Nicole
no, I love Babylon. I think we all watched it when it first came out, and we were like, this is it. This is the movie. But you're right. Not many people are in between. It's either a love-hate relationship with it. But I loved it.
But I also love Damien Chazelle. Like, I am not among the people. It became really popular to hate La La Land, but I really loved La La Land, and I still do, and I'll still watch it. And I have like the little City of Stars vinyl single that I'll put on and listen to some Gosling sometime. Why not?
Yeah.
MGM Plus has more than 2,000 movies in their library. So if you have and a lot of really recent stuff. So if you are looking to catch up on some things you've missed, there's a pretty good chance MGM Plus has it. So awesome choice for free this week. And as a reminder, Xfinity's Free This Week program offers a new selection of free content from streaming services and premium networks every week of the year with no strings attached. Just say free or free this week into your voice remote to check it out. Next up, stop hitting that snooze button. Your alarm is set for Appointment TV. Every week, the Xfinity editors pick the TV show, movie, or special event they are most excited about right now. And this week, we kick things off with Nicole. Nicole, which premiere are you looking forward to most?
All right. I am very excited for the Dark Side of Comedy. Season 2 is returning to Vice. Basically, it's an exploration of different comics and their personal journeys, featuring big names like Chris Farley, Richard Pryor, and Freddie Prinze. But let me toss it over to the clip. You can see for yourself.
Robin was running with a lot of really scary figures, and Robin himself was kind of a scary figure for a while.
Well, Joan Rivers was a hustler. She would be mean as hell. Ellen sat there as if we weren't even there.
You can't light the fuse that hard and survive.
Dark Side of Comedy.
So as you can see, this season is packed with all these stories: Robin Williams, Joan Rivers, Tracy Morgan. These episodes are very easily digestible, but really pull you into these people's lives, all of their struggles and challenges. So it's nice to get that glimpse into who they were off stage and off camera. For me, the sell was Chris Farley. That was episode 1. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. Who didn't love Chris Farley? So it was really nice kind of seeing his side of things. He wasn't all about comedy. He had struggles of his own. He had his, inner demons that he had to deal with. You just really grow to appreciate these comics and what they do for us. So I really love this idea for a show, and I hope more people take advantage of it. Definitely one of my favorites right now.
Did I see Family Matters on that trailer?
I don't know. Did you? I didn't see that.
Pretty sure I'm positive I saw Family Matters, unless they were just saying Family Matters. But give me that episode. Dark Side of Urkel is what I want to see.
I mean, why not, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy this Dark Side franchise because there is Dark Side of the Ring, which might have been the first one, which dealt with, it was kind of a each episode was about a different wrestler who typically had some sort of tragic event in their life. And then there was Dark Side of the 90s and Dark Side of Sports as well. So they've been very popular, and they are, like you said, very easy and a quick watch.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm a big Norm Macdonald fan, so I was excited to see his name in the trailer. Probably my favorite just comedian of all time. I don't watch a lot of stand-up, but one of his Comedy Central roasts of Bob Saget was it had to be the funniest 10 minutes of stand-up work I'd ever seen in my life. So I'm excited to check that out just to remember him a little bit too.
Yeah. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, sorry, Nicole. I'm in the Norm Macdonald TikTok algorithm. So I get, and same on Instagram, my reels, recommended reels are always bits from Norm, and I'll watch every single time. It's just so funny, even in little bits.
Yep.
Sorry, Nicole.
No, you're fine. I thought you were going to say Norm Macdonald Hive. thought that's where you're going with that.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, we got to think of another group name for Norm Macdonald fans. Maybe something a little clever.
Yeah, definitely another fan of his. No, I'm just curious to see, you know, like most of their episodes are dedicated to people who are long gone. But now this season has Tracy Morgan and like Carlos Mencia. I'm just curious, like, are they going to touch on it? Are they going to have an interview with this? Or I don't know. You know, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and Ellen. Like,
and Ellen, right.
Take on Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Fallon's going to be next.
Oh, no. Dark side of Fallon. We'll see. That's a great pick, Nicole. Thank you. And Maddie, what is the premiere you are looking forward to most this week?
Well, unbelievable. In the last segment, I disclosed my distaste for children's content. And here I am choosing Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken as my pick for this week. Let's take a look at the trailer.
The women in our family have the mighty power to turn into giant kraken.
What now?
Ruby, you're a princess. Address the crowd.
I think I am having a panic attack. Okay, Ruby, have a completely, totally ordinary day. You got this.
I feel like a freak. Ow! I just want to be Ruby Gillman, normal teenager.
Ugh, boo. Where's the fun in that?
You have powers beyond your imagination. You are the protector of all the ocean's creatures. It's up to you to stop the evil mermaids.
But people love mermaids.
Of course they do. People are stupid.
Oh my gosh, that was like a direct attack on Nicole.
It really was.
Right there with the mermaid comment.
I am a huge Mermaid High fan.
The Mermaid Hive. Okay, so Peacock is the place to be this week if you're into underwater teen angst. Ruby Gillman, you guessed it, Teenage Kraken, saw it in the trailer, desperately trying to fit in during her freshman year at human school. Her mother is very strangely forbidding her to attend prom due to it being on a ship in the ocean. But later on in the movie, to Ruby's horror, she discovers that when touching seawater, she turns into a monstrous giant kraken. This is a very cute film. I sometimes cute films are good for me. I like it sometimes. It totally flew under the radar, I think, with all of the other animation that came out this summer between like Elemental and Across the Spider-Verse. It's really charming and funny, and I'm always down for a cute coming-of-age story, even if it's about a sea monster. And as you heard at the end of the trailer, mermaids are the most evil creatures in the sea, which was very easy for me to get behind because I was not a big fan of the other mermaid movie that came out this summer, although the original is probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. But other than that, really great voice cast here too in Toni Collette, Annie Murphy, and Jane Fonda. I recommend for all ages, and it's a tight 90, as I like to say. I love hour-and-a-half movies. So if you have the time for a cute flick, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is available on Peacock to stream now. And I know they're coming after mermaids a little bit, Nicole, so I hope you'll take my advice, even though they're trashing on your mermaids.
I have seen this actually, and I did come in with that bias, like, oh, I'm not gonna like this. But no, I agree. It's a easy, fun watch. Who doesn't love Jane Fonda? It was definitely a cute one. But I did notice it's very similar to the plot of Little Mermaid 2. Oh,
wait, isn't it also similar to that movie Luca?
Oh, I haven't seen Luca.
Where he gets touched
Is he a
by
fish?
yeah, he's a human, and as soon as water splashes on him, he turns into a fish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens a lot, so it's fair if you have to revisit themes in movies.
It's an average common story that a lot of people have encountered.
Yes.
Exactly.
Splash too.
Yeah.
Worth revisiting. Maybe this is like a collection we need to make, like when humans touch water or creatures touching water, what happens?
Oh my God, Gremlins. Oh God, I could keep going. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
To be sure.
All right.
Ruby Gillman.
Great conversation starter, Maddie. Yeah.
All right, I'll wrap things up here with my pick for the week, and the premiere I'm most excited about is, if only to get Maddie up on her soapbox, is Penn and Teller Fool Us. Let's take a look at the clip.
People at home saw absolutely, without a doubt, real magic.
As we get older, we get crazier.
You got to do a little quick change.
We always like people taking off their pants.
We've now been at the Rio for 21 years.
Happy birthday!
Which makes us the longest running headliners in Vegas history, which is astonishing to us.
Penn and Teller have been my favorite magicians since I was 6 years old.
We've been around long enough that there are people coming on the show that started magic because of the show and are now coming on Fool Us to Fool Us.
We love seeing young people in magic. We're over the moon delighted.
I don't want to give anything away, but they're good.
You get a trophy for fooling us, which you did.
If you've never seen this show, the format is pretty simple. In each episode, 4 magicians perform a trick live on stage for the iconic magic duo Penn and Teller. If Penn and Teller can't figure out the secrets behind the trick, the magician wins the Fool Us trophy and earns a spot opening for Penn and Teller at their show in Las Vegas. But here's why I love this series. Not only have Penn and Teller been performing magic together for 40 years, they collectively have an encyclopedic knowledge of magic or illusions, as well as the history and mechanics of the art form. To perform a trick that these guys have never seen or can't figure out is an extraordinary feat. But Penn and Teller also have a great amount of respect for the art form. So if a magician performs a trick for them on Fool Us and the guys have it figured out, they go to great lengths to inform the magician that they know how it's done without revealing how the trick is actually done to the entire world watching at home. So the magician will perform, Penn and Teller will take a moment to discuss, and Penn, who of course is the only one who talks, will say something like, "That was a great trick, your showmanship was excellent, but are you familiar with Robinson's box of tentacles?" And the magician will sometimes be like, "Yeah, totally, you got it, you figured it out, thanks, good night," and walk off the stage. But sometimes they'll be like, "No, that's not how I did it." So it becomes this game of chicken where Penn slowly reveals veiled hints about how he thinks the trick was done until the magician gives up and says, "Okay, you got it, you figured me out," and finally concedes, leaves the stage. But then there have been occasions where Penn and Teller chat and Penn either makes a wrong guess or flat out says, "We have no idea how you did that." And it's really a remarkable moment to see someone elevate the art of magic and illusion to a level where these two legends and historians can't figure it out. And that is why I love this show. Go ahead, Maddie.
Well, I have to admit, I've seen this show.
Mm-hmm.
I am on the record. I hate magic. I hate close-up magic. I don't like tomfoolery. I don't like being tricked or deceived or led astray. I don't like any of that. But this show, and I really hate Penn. He's so obnoxious. I like the one that doesn't talk.
Teller.
But this show is like almost a show I would really like if I could switch the way they structure it. If Penn and Teller know how the magician does the trick, they should just expose them and just tell everyone exactly how it's done. Because that's always my problem. I hate being fooled. I hate them doing something and making me look like I don't know what's going on. I know it's like an art and a craft, but I hate being tricked. So if they were to just expose, they should just be exposed. If they're not a good enough magician, go ahead and tell the world, and people like me want to know. I also was like I think it's a hatred because I was kind of into magic a little bit when I was a kid. I had a magic kit.
So did I.
I loved playing tricks because I liked tricking people, but I don't like it when it's done unto me. So for those reasons, I'm happy that you have a show that you like, David. I'm not gonna
Thank you.
I'm not gonna come down on it for all the magic lovers watching.
I've loved magic my entire life. Like, my grandmother used to call if she'd see that like David Copperfield or something was on doing one of his like 90s magic specials when they still did those, and like tell me that it was on. And I've gone to magic museums, not so much as an adult, but like when I was younger, and I had magic kits. I used to look in the back of a magazine or whatever that had those where you could call an order, whatever. I had all kinds of tricks. you would go to joke shops and they would have the like buzzer rings and other crap that you could buy. I had all of that. So that's part of where my interest in Magic still lies today. But
Did you watch any of Hard Knocks this season, David?
no.
Well, they brought in a mentalist, and I don't like mentalists either. It's the same thing. And they brought them in to talk to the team, and they surprised all the Jets because I don't know, he did a bunch of skits, and it worked, and they were all completely shocked. And now I feel like that's why we lost our franchise quarterback in week 1 was because of the mentalist. So more Magic that I can't stand.
I don't like the mentalist stuff either. I really, in terms of like mediums, mind readers, all that stuff, I'm not into it. It's more like tangible magic and illusions, like make someone disappear or a ball through a cup or whatever, that kind of stuff. Because a lot of it, like Penn and Teller do a lot of stuff where with like mathematics, and there's stuff that's involved in that, and I hate math. I hate math.
Great.
So nothing involving math. Just give me rabbit out of a hat, and I'm happy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Nicole, anything to add?
No, David, I'm with you. I like Magic. I like illusionists. Sorry, Maddie. I am very wowed by Penn and Teller, so this will be good. I do have a question. So does Teller offer any kind of feedback? Is he just like doing a lot of facial cues, or he's just sitting there?
During the actual performance?
Yeah, like when I guess when Penn is kind of giving his take, like
Teller, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, he just nods a lot.
Okay.
Is he the brains behind it? I feel like Penn is just doesn't do anything. I feel like Teller is, maybe I'm a Teller fan. I like that it's not really a showman.
I found it really interesting in researching this, actually, that apparently like Penn and Teller aren't necessarily friends outside of doing Magic.
Oh.
Like they've been doing it for
I like that.
They've been doing it for so long that they feel like family, but their actual like personal interests are so different that they don't hang out outside of doing Magic. They just kind of do their own thing and they come together to do Magic, and that's it, which I find fascinating. You just feel like they're an odd couple that share a bedroom, like Bert and Ernie or something.
I thought you meant like they feud.
Oh,
and that would have been interesting to me.
Not necessarily. Not that as far as I saw, but I know they don't share a lot of common interests. Apparently,
it's like that movie with Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi. I can't remember the name of it, where they were playing magicians and they have a falling out.
Oh yeah, that movie was terrible.
It was,
but I do
terrible,
like the
but kind of
Prestige.
funny.
Burt Wonderstone.
Burt Wonderstone. That's what I'm
How is that in my head? What's taking up space? Burt Wonderstone. God. Anyway,
yes, Prestige is good. I agree.
Yeah. Oh yes, that is a very good
Love the
one.
Prestige.
Yeah.
Check out all the TV shows we just discussed and so much more simply by saying what to watch into your Xfinity voice remote. I'll even add Burt Wonderstone and the Prestige in there so you can find those and watch those if you want. Next up, we've got a hair-raising offer just for you in this week's Xfinity Rewards. If you're looking for a feel-good movie musical the whole family can enjoy, Xfinity Rewards has you covered with a movie that trolls harder than Rick Astley. And Maddie is here to tell us more about it. Maddie?
Once again, here I am promoting kids content as the self-proclaimed kids content detractor. But this is a reward you cannot miss that is so perfectly timed. Xfinity Rewards members can get trolls on us just by being an Xfinity Rewards member. Starting October 20th, trolls will be available to add to your movie library. So make sure, if you're not already, to enroll in Xfinity Rewards and redeem this reward within the Xfinity app. And watch Trolls, which is the OG movie, to prepare for the new Trolls movie, Trolls Band Together, which is hitting theaters in a few weeks on November 17th. And there's so much hype around this new Trolls movies with the NSYNC reunion, since they've come out with a new original song for this movie. People are starting to think they're going to do a reunion tour. I would love to see that. I was there. My first tour ever was No Strings Attached. So now is the time to prep for the Trolls trilogy. For more information, just say Xfinity Rewards into your voice remote. I got to do a little segue here because there's no strings attached to getting Trolls if you're an Xfinity Rewards member. Okay, I'm never doing that again. I'm leaving that to David for the rest of the time.
Maddie, as someone who has gone to both the Beyonce tour and the Taylor Swift Eras tour, would you spend as much to see an NSYNC reunion tour?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think I was like 5 years old when I went to the first shows at the Vet in Philly, and I don't know how much ticket prices were. Nicole was there too, right, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all at the same show. Can you believe it? We didn't even know each other. And I imagine nosebleeds were like $20, $25. Now I bet just to get nosebleeds for a concert like NSYNC will be maybe Beyonce, Taylor Swift prices, but I'd be willing to spend a little salary money on an NSYNC concert. How about you guys?
Yeah, I didn't go to Eras or Beyonce, but I think I would probably spend money to go see NSYNC. Because I was an NSYNC fan.
We need
Full
those.
stop.
It needs to include the other three, like more. They need to have more to do because it really was just JC and JT doing all the work. But I want to see like Lance get a solo.
Yeah,
right?
I was always a big Lance fan, even back in the day. Like, he's still my number one. I follow him on social media. He's still funny as hell. I love him.
Lance always had like the really deep parts, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like a baritone or like a bass.
Yeah, he has like a whole thing. Yeah.
If you were like, was that Joey or Chris who sang that part? I'd be like, I have no idea. I don't know what their voices sound like. You could always tell JC, Justin, and Lance, but
I've seen a lot of like TikToks recently about the reunion, and when they play back like the audio of the performance, like there's always comments that are like, Lance's mic is on, because you can hear him like lower than everyone else. And I swear Chris and Joey Fatone, their mics are turned probably off. I don't mean they're bad singers, but you can't hear them.
because they didn't give them anything to do.
They just need to dance.
They're back
toy microphones. All right. As Maddie mentioned, you can add Trolls to your digital movie library on us October 20th through the 26th with Xfinity Rewards. Just say Xfinity Rewards into your voice remote to sign up or get more information. And that will do it for the 100th episode of What to Watch Live. Thank you to my fellow Xfinity editors, Maddie and Nicole, for joining me this week. Shout out to our producers, Caitlin, Josh, Brad, who is out on paternity leave at the moment, but he has seen us through so many of these episodes. They've all worked to make this thing run for 100 episodes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to check out the TV shows or movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, or watch 99 previous What to Watch Live episodes, you can do that. Just say What to Watch into your Xfinity voice remote, or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. You can also check us out across the country 24/7 on the Xfinity What to Watch channel on Xumo Play. My name is David. Thank you for joining us for 100 episodes of What to Watch Live.
See ya.
Bye.